Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another vlog. Welcome to the channel. Today we have a old fashioned friend which is kind of wearing a new boots. It's a G500 2020 model, fully transformed to the Brabus 800, basically, as you could see. So what we're gonna do is take it for a spin and see how it compares to the old model, old G-Class, as well as we have 6x6 that we drove recently, so we can give a comparison between those two as well as the old model. Old model was not recorded by me, but I certainly drove one. So without any further ado, let's start the beast and take it for a spin. Anyways, it's like 7 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, so it's nice and breezy. The weather is getting way better than it used to be a couple of months ago here in the UAE. So, you know, scratch the weather update. Let's start the beast. All right, into the drive. There we go, parking brake, and let's go. The first thing that you can actually, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that sound? I mean, it's like a machine gun, you know? Oh, the trigger on a machine gun, basically, when it's locking. So that old fashioned click is still there, as well as the door bang when you close it and a click when you're opening it. So yeah, as I said, G500 fully transformed to the Brabus 800. Beautiful interior, as you can see, and it's just a pleasant drive so far. I mean, nice burbles from the V8. It's a 4-liter V8 basically, so proper machine. Let me just let the guys from the behind go. All right, here we go. Now we can continue. It's just a presence on the road that this car has. I mean, with the Brabus kit, it got wider, you know. It has the carbon fiber parts, the carbon fiber bonnet in front, and I mean, it's something, you know. Even the old G-Class has its own presence on the road, and it didn't change over the years, which is kind of you know, a signature mark of the G-Class. With the new one, they just changed slightly headlights, you know, so you have the nice daylights that are running, and one second, and the backlights, there is like LED backlights, but apart from that, like, the boxy shape is still there. The indicator lights are still on top, even though because of some safety standards and everything else, they kind of modified everything and made sure that it's all kind of safe in case of, you know, God forbid, any accident or anything. So that's in there. I think the biggest change that happened here is inside. From the interior point of view, even in the normal G-Class or the G63 AMG, up until to this kind of Brabus kit that we are in today, which is just, you know, amazing. So all the leather, all the carbon fiber pieces, all the you know, two big screens in front of you, basically all the commands and the controls on the steering wheel, which is also different than the previous model. and then all these kind of small details like the air vents that they're putting these days in, up until to the I don't even know how to call these locking things here, that have the Brabus engraving. It's just amazing how much of the work has been done and put into this, from the exhaust system that is fully Brabus to the bonnet, the spare tire as well. It's fully carbon fiber with the Brabus logo. The side skirts, basically, the small tracking lights on the step over there, up until to the 23-inch wheels that this beast has. You know, it's amazing. I mean, how far did we go, you know, in terms of the cars and everything else, and yet Mercedes managed to get the same old, you know, shape, so it can be recognized on the road. People, when they see it, they know it's a G-Class, and yet there is kind of you know, small taste of the technology and you know, new materials, the ambient lights. I mean, the steering wheel is also half leather, half carbon fiber. I mean, it's something. It's all about the you know, the taste. What would you do and how would you spec your G-Class? But then, you know, I wouldn't complain if somebody gives me this one. I don't know how much you can see from the sun and the reflection, but then, as I said, this is a new car. It has 1,339 kilometers on the clock. That's pretty amazing. That's the first thing. Second thing, like, as you can see, the current consumption is like 14.9 liters on 100 kilometers, and it goes up to the 31, which is mind-blowing, guys. Which is mind-blowing. Like, they're stating in the facts that it's like around 11.1 liters per 100 kilometers, but hey, these dials, they don't lie, right? So it is a V8, it is a beast. So I mean, what else can you expect? As I said, the diff locks are here, the very standard thing. This is the new stuff, and then you have the you know, ambient lights all across, basically, and the new shape of the air vents. That's the cool feature that I really like in the new models of the Mercedes these days. Some of the climate control buttons here, the Mercedes clock, and then basically the buttons that you can play here, I presume with the screen. Yeah, activating Bluetooth, basically. Then you have the radio, and then navigation, radio. How do we switch off the radio? Media, please, thank you. I don't want YouTube to ban me because of the music. Navigation, at the moment we are at the Palm Jumeirah, and then I have no idea what are all these. I think these are, the controls of the, oh, okay, it's here, the controls, basically. Oh, look at this. So dynamic, go back, sport, individual, sport, and then you can check the suspension, everything else. I would go to the comfort mode. It has the automatic start stop button. So that's one of the things when it comes to these dials. And then the volume controls, basically. Oh, there we go, the little house here. Okay, so there's a touchpad here as well. So once you move, I don't know how much you can see, it moves left and right on the touch of your finger. And then, I don't know, navigation, media, telephone, in-car office. What else is there? Connect, vehicle. Let's see, we press the button. Oh yeah. So seats, climate control, dynamic select, assistance, consumption, light settings. Yeah, that's one of the cool features, you know, that Mercedes sign will light here, and then once you lock the car, as the mirrors goes folding, basically the sign goes kind of underneath the car. Yeah, a cool feature. So where the hell am I? Go back. Okay, vehicle again. All right, so the light settings, what else do we have? Vehicle settings, owner's manual. I mean, that's it. Let's go back. And then what else is there? System. So I mean, this is the first time for me to play with these things, and it's pretty, you know, it's pretty decent. Nothing too complicated. You can switch off, I guess, the traction control off, the manual mode, as I said, the switch for the modes in the car, the parking camera, low range. That's the thing that goes together with these buttons. But as I said, overall very nice place to sit here, with different carbon fiber options and the trims here, diamond stitching, definitely, Brabus fine leather, and as I said, this is like the most amazing thing, this Brabus thing. And then you have the control, the seat control. Sorry, I just switched off the camera by coincidence. So you have these kind of seat controls, cooling, ventilating, you know, the seats, and then different controls here, active, I think, cruise control, the lights over there. The steering wheel is just amazing. I mean, with this kind of you know, AMG sign here, carbon fiber leather, and the digital dash, it's just amazing. It has the sunroof as well, I mean, and plenty of space in the back for 3 more passengers, which is really nice. So let's go for a little bit of more ride, and then we're gonna return the car to the owner. I mean, those burbles, guys, those burbles. Let me see if you can hear some. I mean, come on. I mean, it's one of the best sounding engines when it comes to the Brabus. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, as I said, basically 4-liter V8 kicks out around 422 horsepower, 610 Newton meters of torque, which is like pretty decent for a SUV these days. And base price here in the UAE starts at around 600,000 dirhams, which is more or less around 140,000 euros. Yeah, more or less. I mean, 0 to 100 it does in 5.8 seconds. I mean, come on. It's just fast for the SUV, for a vehicle that is as heavy as the G-Class. I mean, it's brilliant. And then this kind of a sound that it has, you know, the burbles and everything that comes out, it's amazing. Speaking of the interior, as we spoke earlier, basically, you know, it's more of an S-Class here, you know, S-Class features that you can have it compared to the before, you know. It was kind of outdated, and nowadays, apart from the diff locks here, everything else is kind of newish, you know. 2 big screens, as I said, all digital, steering wheel commands, and then, you know, it's just a pleasant place to sit, to be quite honest. and it's a pleasant morning, I have to say that one. Right next to the sea, taking a ride in a G-Class. It's just like, you know, perfect. And I hope you're enjoying. For the first time we're trying something new with a overhead camera, so let's see. I mean, enjoying the ride. When it comes to the models, there is a G800, the one that I'm sitting in at the moment, as a new shape, and then there is a G63 AMG. Slight difference in those two. For example, in terms of the horsepower, this one, as I said, kicks around 422 horsepower, and then the G63 goes all the way up to 577 horsepower. So yeah, slightly different in the horsepower. When it comes to the engine, is the same V8 in both of them. Of course, 63 has the biturbo one, and then if you remember the old G65 V12, well, you can forget about it, at least in the near future, because they're not gonna be making the V12 engine, considering the, you know, all consumption and all the you know, current thing that is going on around the world in terms of the you know, sizing out the engines and the cars and everything else. I mean, the cars, they're getting bigger and bigger, but the engines, they're getting smaller and smaller. So you know, I don't know what are we gonna start putting in underneath the bonnet soon when they you know, minimize the engines. Apart from that, like as I said, like a huge bonnet in front of me, and that's like a signature thing for the G-Class. I mean, couldn't be happier. Couldn't ask for a better place to sit in when it comes to the SUVs. The main competitors of the G-Class are, let's say, Bentley Bentayga, Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and some other guys. Let's say the Q7, not anymore. They, you know, they didn't get any new shape. At least I didn't see it. BMW, I mean, doesn't have anything to compare with the G-Class. X5 is more into the you know, GLE class, and then you know, X7 is more into the GLS. I mean, in terms of the comparison. So BMW doesn't have anything. Audi, not really. You know, Bentley Bentayga is the one that can compare, but then the price is way higher, starting with like, I think 850 or 900,000 dirhams, which is almost 200,000 euros. Not almost, it is 200,000 plus euros. So you know, I don't think that, you know, I haven't driven the Bentayga, but you know, I was sitting in one and I was doing a short review of the one. So I like G-Class more. It has the tradition, it has the you know, history, and that's what matters to me. Hence, I'm a big fan of Ferrari, as you all know, because of all the history and everything that comes, you know, around the brand. So the same applies for the G-Class. It just has the presence and the history, and people recognize it, you know, with all these new features that you can have it in the car. Something. Tunnel, guys, tunnel. All right, guys, it's time to say goodbye. We're done with the G-Class. Back to reality. Back to Nissan Altima. But hey, it's been a fantastic drive. It's been a fantastic car. I really didn't regret any single moment that I woke up today at 5:30 a.m. Let me know in the comments what you think about the car. Do you like the spec? Do you like the carbon fiber? Do you like the Brabus kit? I didn't mention it cost around $30,000, something like that, when I checked online. So I'm not sure if this is the same one or not, but it's like around 100,000 plus dirhams on top of the price of the car, plus the exhaust, plus this, plus that, plus the interior. So it's usually, I mean, when you check on the you know, online, it's like around 1.2 million dirham car, which is a lot of money, you have to you know, you have to admit. But yeah, arguably one of the best SUVs in the luxury SUVs in the market, at least one of my favorites. So I've been sitting in a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, I've been sitting in a Bentley Bentayga, but this is, I mean, the Mercedes really stepped up the game from the previous model. So as I said, let me know what you think in the comments if you wish. Let me know what other cars would you like me to record. And as always, like, share, subscribe. CarFreak 458. Cheers. Driving the G class, you know, and then you end up in a place like this. I mean, how cool is that? Bentley, Range, another Bentayga, Rolls-Royce, another Rolls-Royce. I mean, come on, give me a break. Another Bentley,